Good afternoon. Or I guess it's still morning to
Still
some
morning.
degree.
Yeah.
It's Josh with the Partridge Group podcast, and it's I actually get the pleasure of interviewing a friend, but also an individual that does quite a bit with peer support, highway patrol, and has the luxury of being married to one of the finest troopers out there.
I do. I like him.
So, Ashley Carruba, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you being here. One of the things that I think the reason why I really am excited to talk to you is because you kind of play two roles. In my opinion, Highway Patrol's peer support program, from just being my own personal experiences with South Jordan, looking at other peer support programs, runs just a tight-ass ship. I mean, they just do things right. They've got it figured out, and I like what you guys are doing, and so I want you to kind of talk into on some of that as well. But also being married to a trooper, and you're the first spouse of a law enforcement officer that I've asked to come and participate in this, and I want to kind of dip into your struggles, your concerns, how do you keep yourself resilient? What do you do to find yourself not worrying, or how do you deal with the worry, and some of these things that come along with being married to a trooper or a firefighter or anybody that's
Sure.
in first responding activities. So
Sure.
let's just talk a little bit first about peer support.
Okay.
What is your role? What are you doing at the Highway Patrol? Because you're employed there too.
Yes. So I've been with the department for 12 years. Started as a dispatcher and then moved into a different role as kind of the strategic planner for the Highway Patrol. And in doing that, it was actually in one of the classes that I had for school, I wrote about the importance of mental health for law enforcement officers.
Awesome.
And so they invited me to be a part of the peer support team and bring that next level for, I guess, family support, because that was something they were lacking. They were really focused on the law enforcement side, which was great, but I kind of made them aware of, hey, there's families behind the scenes too that are also struggling and might need some help. So that's my role, is facilitating family support and making sure that the spouses have the information and resources that they need to be a successful police family.
What do you find works? What do you find as barriers?
So I would say what's been working really well, there is a social media page for the spouses. And what I've started doing is creating a monthly flyer with some information. So I put in, how to, what if your husband's not talking, or what if you're noticing change in behaviors, things like that. What are some things you can do? Here are some resources, things like that. And the spouses have taken to that really well. They really enjoy it, and just at least educating them and letting them know what is available has really, really helped. I would say a barrier was just, I guess, coming up with the right tools and the right approach. Because this was something new. I had no idea what I was doing. So I was just kind of winging it and hoping something would work. And we're still trying some new things, but yeah.
Are you getting any feedback from spouses of things that are working, things that aren't working, the struggles they're having talking to their husbands or spouses or whoever?
Yeah, yes and no. I would say one of the things that I did receive was they were concerned about the schedule and the change of the schedules and how to work in childcare and things like that. And so I don't have that experience. I don't have little kids, so that's not an issue for me. So I guess being able to relate to some of their issues has been a problem, and I'd like to maybe find another spouse that has dealt with that and dealt with it well. So maybe bringing on some more spouses that could give me perspective.
By the way, who does your nails?
Oh my gosh. The best woman on the planet.
Those are nice looking nails. Couldn't be anybody I know.
No, couldn't be anybody else.
Ashley, what are you doing for peer support? What are you doing with the troops? Because I know that you're involved also you're sending out weekly newsletters about wellness.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of research in wellness for police officers. What are you doing, and is it working?
Yeah, so one of the things that we started doing right when the pandemic hit was a weekly wellness flyer. We wanted to get people active, and so we would put out workout tips, or we'd create a workout and tell them, here's your challenge for the week, nutritional tips, financial resources, and then the mental health side of things and the importance of, staying healthy and things of that nature. So I do a lot of work with that, and we have a captain that really is behind that and supports it, and he helps me, create some of these and get some ideas for that. And it's worked really well. We get a lot of good feedback from the troopers and thanking us for the information, and we're trying to get them more involved as well, and maybe sharing their story or some of their experiences and how they've utilized the peer support team or the Partridge group. So we're hopeful for that.
You mentioned it's Captain Salas, right?
Yeah, Captain
That's
Salas.
kind of involved with the peer support over there.
Yeah.
How is, obviously you're not a law enforcement officer, but you have a perspective of being with administration. You work within the facilities. You talk to the highway patrol. You do some of these things. How do you, what do the troopers say? Do they feel they're supported? I mean, there's a lot of beefy dudes over there. Like wellness is a big thing for the troopers. I mean, some of them I've seen, and they're fit buckers. Mm-hmm. Where is that coming from? Is it starting from the colonel? Is it like It
is. So our colonel is very passionate about staying physically fit. We have a colonel's challenge every year, and we do a swim, bike, run, and then other activities throughout the year where he's really wanting to get people involved in taking care of their physical health.
Does he do this?
He does.
Because he's kind of an older guy now.
And he's in fantastic shape.
He really is.
When I would go in the gym, when I was going to the gym, I would see him and he would be running real fast on the treadmill and jump off and go do a circuit of something else, and I'm barely making it up the stair climber, just dying.
Old man, slow down.
He's in tip-top shape.
That's awesome.
But the best part is he has also really embraced the mental health side of things as well, and he recognizes that being physically fit is important, but taking care of your mental health is just as important as that. So we've had a lot of really good support from our administration all the way down. It's something that's talked about all the time. And I really think that that's helped. In the beginning, when this peer support team first started in 2013, it wasn't exactly like that. The troopers were like, what the hell?
Yeah, what's this peer
I am not
support
talking
thing?
to anyone. This is stupid. And it has really changed substantially over the years. And I think it really does come down to the support from our administration, and it's just being talked about more. It's normal conversation.
Good.
Yeah.
And you find that with the troopers too. It's just a normal conversation to talk about wellness or not having a good day or whatever the case may be, and most people are willing to talk.
It's true, and I think a lot of times they don't realize that they're participating in some type of peer support.
Ooh, you're throwing the trickster in it, huh?
they just, I don't know, they end up talking to each other and just having a conversation. I don't think they realize how much that's actually helping them. So
yeah, I've said it before. You have some specialized peer support training, but in all reality, peer to peer is so powerful.
Yeah.
And we're all peer support.
Right.
And I think you hit it on the head. You have a good administration that supports it. You have good people who are willing to talk about their issues, peer to peer contact, and I'm glad to hear that Highway Patrol is really setting an example for the rest of the state on we need better wellness with our cops. I mean, it helps with everything they do. Their decision-making processes, their driving, their report writing, the way that they behave, the way they conduct themselves. It's all a part of that.
Yep. Yeah. It's not just about the mental wellness side of things. It really does encompass everything. It boils down to, how they're interacting with their families and how, all of those things that really do impact their career.
So let's talk about you for a minute.
Okay.
Being married to a trooper.
Yeah.
That's tough business.
Yeah.
I mean, you're friends with my wife. You know her very well, and I'm sure you guys have talked about many different things. But being married to somebody in such a vulnerable job, what has it been like for you?
So this last year, I'll speak to that real quick, has been very challenging.
Yeah.
2020 was very, very challenging for a lot of different reasons, but really, all of the events we saw unfold over the summer really affected me a lot more than I thought it would.
In what ways?
I was angry, I was sad, I was conflicted with some of my beliefs, and I was all the things. So I actually went to counseling and helped kind of work through some of those challenges. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Actually, right away was like, yep, I'm feeling like this is a bit too big for me to just handle on my own.
That's awesome.
So
Would you have done that before without being involved in some sort of peer support or seeing the wellness program at Highway Patrol?
I probably wouldn't have been as quick to recognize.
Okay.
But I have done counseling before, participated in that. So it wasn't new to me, but I maybe wouldn't have been so quick to say, you know what, yes, I need to do this right now because I can feel it affecting me, and it's going to start, affecting other aspects too. So I did counseling for a few months over the summer pretty consistently, and, was able to work through some things. But I guess to touch on other aspects of it, I worry about Tony and
Sure.
the job and the public perception and things like that. But I do trust his training, and I trust the people he works with. And that's what helps me to, I guess, share him with the world and just know he's been trained well. He has good administration, good troopers that he works with. And that is what I have to go with.
The divorce rate's really high with police officers. It's, I think, half, and then it's almost 80-something% another time. I don't know what the exact statistics are, but it's high.
Yeah.
How have you found that keeping your marriage together?
Yeah.
What are the tricks? What's been the success? Because it's hard.
It is hard. And marriage is hard anyways, but then adding the stress of law enforcement job. For us, it has just come down to communication. Good, open, honest conversation. If I'm having a hard time, I don't hold back to keep it to myself because I am afraid it will make him upset or feel bad. Yeah. No, I don't want to hurt his feelings, but if he's doing something, then, or if I notice a change in his behavior, I'm going to say something. And he knows that. And he does the same for me. So we have a really good open dialogue, communication at our house that has really, really helped.
Good. Mm-hmm. What else? What helps Tony at home? What are you doing as a spouse that makes Tony feel secure that he can leave? Other than he's got training and he's done these type of things. But what do you do at home to help Tony feel comfortable?
I mean, I don't know.
Is it just you're just such a loving human being, and you just.
No, I think what I really try to do is respect that initial time when he gets home, to give him some, I guess, time to decompress. I'm not, the second he walks in the door, I'm not just like, no, like following him around and telling him about my whole day. I mean, I do have an exciting day working at home every day.
In your pajamas, so
But no, I think I really try to just allow him, 20, 30 minutes to just take his uniform off, kind of switch that role from being trooper to husband. And, I ask him about his day. If he doesn't want to talk about it, he'll tell me. And then I know he's had a bad day, and I don't push it. Sometimes I'll say, well, if you change your mind, I'm here, whatever. I do really encourage working out, eating healthy. I encourage him to, see Dr. P if needed. And he does kind of give me some pushback, but I know.
I was going to say, Tony's kind of a stubborn dude.
He's very stubborn. He's very stubborn, but he knows that it's better for him. So he has embraced that as well. He knows that's what I'm passionate about, and I just want him to be healthy and in all aspects of life. So
good. I think you hit on some key points. I think that having a routine or having the open communication and talking to Tony about, hey, what do you need to wind down? What do you need to reset? What do you need to, separate this employment from home, and how when you get there, and then respecting those boundaries. And I think that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys, I don't know that they, sometimes wives are a little naggy.
We are. I recognize this, and I can be. And I guess that's one thing that I've noticed from other spouses is sometimes they have a lot of things that they need to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, disciplining kids or whatever the case may be. And if they haven't seen their spouse in 12 hours, a lot's happened in that time. And sometimes we want to just, talk.
Yeah.
Realizing that, you don't, or our spouse might not always want to talk when they get home or make decisions or things like that. That's probably our biggest one, is making decisions about certain things. He's like, I've been making decisions all day long.
Sometimes it's as simple as eating. I'd come home,
Oh,
my wife would say,
eating.
well, what are we going to go eat? What are we going to make? I don't know.
That's the
I don't want to make one more damn choice today. I've made
Yeah.
like 90.
Yeah. Well, make one more because I don't want to pick dinner. And you'll pick wrong anyways, and then we'll just have to decide. But no, I really do think it just comes down to the communication and establishing clear boundaries and then respecting those from both sides.
Yeah, I think that's some great advice. And obviously you guys have a healthy marriage, and marriage is hard, period. No matter who you're married to, it's difficult. I've had my own struggles in my marriage. I still do.
Sure.
And it just takes a lot of work, and it's communicating, especially with law enforcement and the tough job that we do, and being a support group and recognizing things between yourselves of let's separate, let's hit a reset button, let's quality time, let's spend some time together.
Yeah, and I think it's hard sometimes to identify those things within yourself. I mean, I wasn't always this way. I didn't always have this perspective. So it took, some trial and error and some conversations of
for sure,
and learning, but then really putting those lessons to use and improving.
There's going to be a lot of people that listen to this podcast. As a matter of fact, I think even some of your highway patrol group may use some of these podcasts.
Yeah.
It's going to go out to a lot of folks.
Yeah.
As a spouse in law enforcement, you've hit it on a couple of things: communication and respecting boundaries. What do you have to say to the millions, hundreds, thousands of spouse wives that would make them feel comforted during this time that's kind of raw, that's kind of uncertain, what advice would you share?
I think the biggest thing I would say is really just be a support to your spouse. It's okay to worry, it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to acknowledge those things. Don't hide your feelings to protect them. Okay. Just be real and open and honest about it, and really just give them all the support that you can. It doesn't always have to be loud and proud, blasting it over the internet, all of those things. It can just be as simple as be safe, have a good day, text me when you can, and when they come home, give them a hug and a kiss. Yeah. Tell them, thanks for working hard. Just little things like that, I think, goes much further than blasting this, loud and proud, even though you want to, all over social media.
Well, I think you hit on a key point, because many officers feel unappreciated. Yeah. And coming home to a supporting spouse that would just say, hey, give me a hug, hey, I appreciate what you did today, is key. It's really key. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Sure.
And being here today. Yeah. In all honesty, looking in your new shoes that you purchased, Tony. Yes, you can't see the shoes, but I see her new shoes she's purchased. And,
no, I was happy to be here. I really appreciate you asking me to be a part of it. I think this is a great thing that you're doing. So.
Well, thanks, Ashley.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sure we'll have you on again soon.
Great.
And good luck with your degree.
Thank you.
Just being here and being a support for the troopers as well as Tony.
Sure. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.